Hi and welcome to yet another Facemaker video tutorial. I am Nuno and today we'll be talking about tips and tricks. These tips and tricks you can use in Facemaker to speed your work. And I think they're very useful, so I thought about doing a video about them. For this, I'll be using the newest Huawei Watch GT4. I know many are complaining that they can't upload custom designs into their GT4, and mainly I think that this is because Huawei is still trying to prevent us from using custom designs on our watches. The GT4 might have something on its firmware that is preventing us from uploading custom watch faces. And well, I think that Huawei is shooting themselves on their foot because people buy Huawei because they can customize their watch faces. They can use custom watch faces. They can put their kids' photos on a watch face. And Huawei shouldn't try to prevent us from doing this. I mean, sorry about this rant of mine, but well, I hope this changes in the near future, and I'm sure that soon you'll be able to upload your custom watch faces into your GT4. Okay, so let's start by talking about the first feature I would like to mention is the copy, paste, or copy cut of widgets. So let's say, for instance, you have, let's add an image here on the background main container. And here I'll add a widget, a container, and set it to steps or any other data type will do. But right now we have this image on the background main container. And I'm going to load an image. Let's load an element. Let's say this gear here. And at some point when you're developing your watch face, you realize that you want to copy or move this widget into the steps container. Well, you have several ways to do it in a Facemaker. You can, for example, drag the widget straight into the steps container like that. And now it is inside the steps container. Or let's put it back in the background container here. You can also use key shortcuts. So for example, you could use the Control X. So select the widget, Control X, and then select the steps container and press Control V. And there we go. Now we moved the widget from the background main container into the steps container. So now let's say that you don't want to move, you want to copy. Well, this is easily done by using the Control V or copy feature. So select the widget, press Control C, and then select the background main container and press Control V. And there we go. Now we have two widgets. They're the same actually. Or at least they have the same image, and they were copied, and we created a copy of this one into the background main container. So you can do this without ever selecting a container. So let me delete this one, and now we have the first one we had, so the gear on the background main container, and with it selected, if you press Control C and Control V, immediately you make a copy inside the same container. So you should only have to select the target container if you want to paste it on another container. So let's say Control C, select the container, and Control V. There we go. Now we have another copy, and you know, you can do this with just about any widget, with the exception of it being compatible. So for example, let me delete all these three widgets, and here on the background I'm going to add a frame by frame, and we'll load one from the library. No need to generate one. So you can see, this is an animation. Now I am going to Control C, select the steps container, and press Control V. Now you'll see that we weren't able to paste it on the steps container because the steps container doesn't accept frame by frame. So instead it was pasted on the background container, on the only container that allows the animation widget. Okay, so keep this in mind. You have freedom to copy paste among containers as long as the target container accepts or is compatible with that kind of widget. Okay, so you're able to copy or cut, paste a widget from one container into another as long as that widget is supported by the target container. So keep this in mind, okay? And this was the copy, cut, paste of widgets. And now I am going to show you a feature that almost no one knows it exists in Facemaker. So let's add two images here on the background. And now I'm going to load an image on this widget here. So let me just lock the container so it just doesn't get in the way. And enable the widgets inside, okay? So on this one, I am going to load an image from the library. And let's go into the elements and load another element. This one, for example. So we have this widget, and we would like to copy this image onto this widget. Okay, and this is very easy in Facemaker. Of course, since we're using a library image, we could just as easily go into the library and load that image. But let's say that you have it on your hard drive. You loaded this image from your hard drive, and you don't want to load it again. Since it's on Facemaker already, you can use it straight from this widget onto this one. Well, how do you do it? Well, you select this widget, go into the image preview here, click it, and press Control C. Okay, now it's copied on the clipboard, and we now select this image here over the image preview, we click it and press Control V. And there we go. We copied straight from this widget onto this one, and the images has the same dimension, so everything is the same as this one. Okay, so you can copy images from one image widget onto another. But how about image set or I don't know, image combos? Well, you can do that too. Let's say, for example, you have a steps container. So let's select the steps data type. And now let's add an image set and select the steps, or rather not. I don't want this. Let's say I use a circle instead. Or rather, let's change this container into heart rate. So let me see here. There we go. And now add an image set, and now we can use the arc rate zone data type and press generate. Now here I am going to generate an image set, and I'll be creating a circle. So let's increase the line width here, and let's add some sectors just like that, and perhaps edit the gradient here. Not this one, perhaps this one. Yeah, this one is perfect. So we have this image set, which is composed of several images, 6 to be exact. So we have these 6 images, and usually when developing watch faces, you will want a placeholder on the background. So let's hide it. You want a black and white image or a different color image behind, so that it works as a placeholder. So how do you do that? Well, let's delete these two, or rather, let's keep this one, okay? And here under a heart rate zone, you see you can select the image that is currently on the image preview. So like this, okay? Let's select the one we want and click it and press Ctrl C. And now select this widget here, click the image preview and press Ctrl V. And there we go. Now we have a copy of that same frame, that last frame of the heart rate zone, copy it into this static image, okay? So now we have a placeholder we can use. So let me hide the image set here. You see this is dynamic. It is composed of several images. Let me hide it and go into the one we copied, this one. And we'll add a fill color effect like that. And we might use a darker color, something like this, okay? So now we have this placeholder. And when we show the heart rate zone widget and we press preview, you'll see that we have a placeholder that we created by copying the last image frame onto this one, and then give it a fill color, a darker fill color. And you can further improve this by adding a inner shadow, for example. Let's zoom in, and perhaps here on the background I'll add an image, put it on the background, and generate a lighter image so we can see better how this is working. So let's go with a light gray and make it the same size as the watch canvas. And there we go. So now when you zoom in, you'll see what happened. So now we have this image acting as a placeholder, and this circle here that we'll be adding inner shadow effect to is growing in the same place where the placeholder is also placed. So yeah, this is the image copy paste, and this is a very handy function you can use to speed up your work in Facemaker, okay? So now this works for just about any widget. So for example, let's hide this image set here, and let's keep this one, and perhaps hide this one. No, this is the background. Let's keep it. Okay, let's add a frame by frame, and here I am going to load an animation. So let's say this heart beating, for example. So you'll see that this is composed of several images, and they create this illusion of animation. So this is how movies are made. They are made out of several frames that, when displayed one after the other, they show you a movie, a film. So this is how it works. So now I am going to copy this last frame here, the 10th frame, and click the image preview and press Ctrl C, and then select this image here, click the image preview and press Ctrl V. There you go. So you see, you can do this for just about any widget, but simply by Ctrl C, copying the frame you want here, clicking and pressing Ctrl C, and then Ctrl V on the image widget you want. This can be done also for image sets. So if you wanted to paste that image, that last frame here, so Ctrl C, onto this sixth frame of this image set, let me hide these, you could. So let's select the sixth frame, click it and press Ctrl V. Now I pasted that last frame of the movie and pasted it onto this this image set. Now this might not work correctly from now on, but you get the picture, okay? So you can do it, you can do this. And this is very helpful for many cases. So I won't cover them here on this video, otherwise this video will get too long. But this will allow you to create, for example, a circular wick image sets. And let me show you how this works. Okay, I'm gonna show you because many people don't know how I do this. So here I am going to add an image, or rather not. Let's add text artistic. And here I will have the initials of the weekdays. So Monday space, or rather we don't need the space. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So all these letters here are the weekdays, okay? So I'm gonna change the color, we can see them, and change this into a circular text. And there we go. Now we have this circular text, and shall lower the radius of the circle. Something like this, okay? And now I will center it and increase the kerning here, the text kerning. This is the separation or the space between the letters, okay? And try to match this more or less. Now I want the Monday to be here on the top. So let me show you how we can do this. We can simply change the start angle. Okay, and let's enable the guidelines like this. And now we can center it. And as you can see, the Monday text is on the 0 degrees. So this is what we want. Okay, so now that we have this, we can convert it into an image. And this is an image now. We can use for just about any other widget we have on our watch face. So here on the widget, or rather on the date main container, I am going to have an image set. And this will represent weekdays. Okay, so there we go. We have the weekday here. And now we can simply generate. And you'll see that we have this plain text that will change according to the weekday, but we want to use this as the images for this image set. So how do we do that? Well, I'm going to center it to start with, and now I'm going into this circular text, and I'm going to do Control C here. So click the image preview, Control C, and now here on the weekday we'll go through each one and press Control V. So Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V, and finally they're all, no they're not, so sorry, Control V, frame 2, Control V, frame 3, and now that I think they're all, yeah. So now I pasted this image in each and every one of them, and I shall be keeping this image because it will work as a placeholder for these, okay? So now I am going to place it in the same spot as the background image, as the placeholder. And I'm going to lock it and hide it for now, okay? Let's go back into this weekday, and we know that the first day is Monday. Okay, so now I'm going to press Edit Image, and here I'm going to select the eraser tool, increase the radius, and now start deleting. So we only need to keep the Monday, so save it. Tuesday, Edit Image, switch into the eraser, and let's keep only the Tuesday. So, you know, this can be quite tedious and laborious, but I think in the end it's worth it. So let's edit this one now, the third one, and we know it's Wednesday. So delete all those others like that. And this is done, and save. And now proceed to the fourth image, edit image. And here I'm going to edit and delete everything else, or rather we have to select the eraser first, just like that, and delete everything but the Thursday, and save, and so on. I mean, now it's the 5th, and now it's Friday, so edit image, switch into the eraser tool, don't forget about it, like that. Friday is done, and now Saturday, so edit image. Oh dear. I always forget to change the tool there. So it's Saturday, and it's done, and save. And finally the last frame, and we will keep only the Sunday. Like this, okay? There we go, and save. And as you can see now, if we switch between them, we have all the weekdays, and they're interchangeable, so they will change according to the weekday. But now I want to make it a different color. So we go into the effects, add a fill color effect, and change it to, I don't know, red. And now we can enable this artistic text here, and we can switch between the weekdays. So this is how you create a circular weekday, and this can be used for just about anything. But depending on the number of of images, for example, for the month of the year, you will have to edit 12 images. But this is possible, and you can create it thanks to the copy pasting of the images onto other widgets. And depending on the frame, on the selected frame here on the image preview, you can paste it wherever you want, okay? So this was copy paste of images, okay? So now we'll be covering another subject, which is, let me just stop the image preview here, the watch preview, I mean. And now let me see here, I shall be deleting this one, and I'm gonna add a bunch of image widgets, like that, okay? So now I'm gonna load them from the library. I shall be selecting different images so we can distinguish them. And again, this is not sponsored by any of these brands, okay? So the only sponsors Facemaker has are its users. And thanks to them, this was possible. What you're seeing now on this video, all these crazy features were sponsored by the users. So I'm going to delete this one, otherwise it's too many. Okay, so now we have these images here, and let's say I want to move this one and this one. Okay, instead of having, and like you usually do on other softwares, I would select this one and move it, and then select this one and move it. If you think that, for example, they're part of a composition and you want to move them both, this is very easy to achieve. So you select the first one and then press Shift and select this one here. Now you'll notice that we have two widgets selected here on the left. These two are connected, and now when you move the arrow key, you can move them both. So now you're editing them at the same time, and you're moving them at the same time. So when you're finished with the moving, you can simply select another widget and they won't be selected anymore. So keep this in mind. You shift select both, and then you can drag them with your mouse or use the arrow keys. And by the way, this is another hidden feature, which is the shift moving. So when widgets are selected, you can move them using the arrow key, okay? But if you press the shift key and move them, they will move in increments of 10. So much faster to move them this way. If you have a long distance to cover, this is the 1 pixel moving and this is the 10 pixel moving. Okay, so you can do it by clicking Shift and moving the arrow keys. Okay, so this was multi-select, and you can use this for just about anything. So let's say you click this one, this widget here, and then you press Shift and click this one. Now we have 2 widgets selected. And like before, if I press Ctrl X and then come in here and press Ctrl V, we will move both widgets into the date container. So you can use multi-select to move the widgets on the screen or to move them between containers. So let's do that again. Let's select this one, Shift and click the other one, Ctrl X, and select the background container, Ctrl V. And there we go, they're back into the background main container. And this was multi-selection of widgets. It's a very useful feature, okay? So now let's move on and talk about merging. Okay, so many people know how to merge widgets in Facemaker. It's easy, all you have to do is select the ones you want. So I want this one to be merged with the BMW logo to be merged with the Audi logo. Usually they wouldn't get along, but in this case I'm going to merge them. So let's click this button here, the merge down, okay? And now you have 2 options, so the add and the subtract. By clicking add, this is what happens. So let's hide the other ones. Now you see we only have 1 widget. So the widget above, which was the BMW, was merged onto the Audi logo, okay? And you can do this with just about any image widget. Now let me hide this one and show 2 others. Now let's say that they're overlapped. So I have this one above that one, like this, okay? Or rather, it's below the Daihu. So let's put it above, and there we go. So now I want to merge the Chevrolet logo and merge it onto the Daihu logo, okay? And they're overlapped. So what will happen? Well, this is easy. Just press add, and there we go. Nothing weird happened. Everything remained the same visually. So the Chevrolet is still above the Daihu logo, but now they're one single widget, as you can see here, okay? And as I said, you can do this with just about any widget, any image widget. But how about other widgets? I mean, if I had a text artistic here, and I'm gonna type something, so Facemaker, okay. You'll notice that we can merge this onto this image. Why is that? Well, that's because the artistic text is a editable widget, and you can change it at any time. So let me change this to FM. Okay, so you can change it, and usually you can't merge it, but if you convert it to image first, so let's convert it to image, and notice this layer here. So convert to image. Now it has a merge down button because now it's an image widget, okay? So let's merge it, and done. We have one single widget with all the information from those 3 image widgets, okay? And this is how you merge images. But how about if you have an image set or even an animation? Let's add an animation here and load, not an image, sorry, animation, so frame by frame widget. And let's load one from the library. Here, let's use the Street Fighter animation here, and let's resize it and make it smaller. So let's say you had this static image and you have this animation here. So if I put it above, or rather put the Dayu widget below the animation, you'll see that you can merge them. Okay, so if I press merge down, what Facemaker did was merge the animation and the image widget, and if you press preview now, the animation is still there, but all those images of the logos were merged with it, and now they show in each and every frame of the animation. So this is what happens when you merge animations and simple image widgets. The image widget is merged with the animation and displayed on every frame. So this is how it works with animation widgets. Now, for another example, here on the date, I'm going to have an image set. And here I'm going to set it to, I don't know, month, and press generate. So now we have all the month here, and we can merge it with an image if we want it. So let's enable or show the Citroen logo and put it below the month image set. So you'll see that as the animation, this is composed of several images. And what Facemaker does when you merge them, so let me put the Citroen below the month widget. When you merge them, so press merge, and now you can see that all the images now show the Citroen logo, and they're merged with the month names. Okay, so this is how it works when you have a widget that has several images, that is composed of several images, like image sets, animations, and whatever. You can merge it with a single image and have that image merged into each and every frame of the image set or the animation. When you merge a multi-image widget with a single image widget, the resulting widget will be the multi-image widget. So if you merge an animation and a single image, in the end you will still have an animation. Okay, keep that in mind. And this is how you merge widgets. But how about subtracting? Well, let me show you here. Let's show these two. So now we have these two logos here, and then I'm going to put the Citroen logo above the Dodge logo. And now I am going to click this button and select subtract. Now you'll see what happened. Facemaker removed the Citroen logo where it overlapped with the Dodge logo. Okay, and you can do this is very handy because, for example, let me say you have an image here, and let's generate. Okay, so we have this black image, and now I am going to add another image above it, and let's load this Nissan logo. Okay, and if now I press merge down and select subtract, the Nissan logo will be removed from that background image, this black image. And now let's say that you wanted this to change color. Well, if we had a image set here, put it beneath that black image, and now let's select the random background and press generate. Now of course this will be huge and encompass all the watch canvas, but now we have several images that will change color whenever you tap the screen or you turn your wrist. So now I am going to make it the same size as this square, this black square. So let's make it 200 by 200, and let's place it in the same spot as that black square. Now if we press preview, look what happens. You have an image or a Nissan logo shape that changes color. How great is that? So This was merge widgets functionality, and I think you'll agree it's very, very handy. So now let's proceed and let's delete everything, and now we will talk about filters. Well, filters, I won't be covering them with a lot of detail, because you'll notice, and let me load just a logo here and had an effect. So when I said filters, I meant effects. In Facemaker, they're called image effects. So let me add, for example, not a radio, or we can use a radio. So what radio does, it creates a radio image that you can then increase the raise or decrease. You create some sort of a star or something. But no, I won't be using this one. I'm going to use the colorize, for example. And now I'll give it a red color and increase. So, as weird as it may seem, many people don't know that they can apply effects to images or just about any other widget in Facemaker. Let me add frame by frame, and I'll be generating one from particles. So while you can change the color of the particles, let's say you generated this animation here, but you wanted to change their color afterwards. Okay, so let's say you added some other widget, and then you realize that this animation should be another color. So all you have to do is come into the effects and press colorize. This should take some time because we're talking about 258 frames. And by the way, we can optimize this by removing every other frame. So let's optimize. And now the animation should be comprised of less frames and move faster. Okay, so now this will be easier for us to work with, because now if we change the color, and let's say I wanted this red color, and we increase the intensity. Now remember, this is being applied to all 128 frames of this, or 129 frames of this animation. So it may take some time. And it's taking some time. Okay, let's wait. This century, I hope. Well, maybe this wasn't, or it won't be practical to show you how this works using this widget. So I am going to remove it and use a, well, not a generated one. Sorry, but load one from the library, and this time we'll go with Ryu. There we go. And now let's apply a colorize effect. There we go. And select a red color and increase the intensity. There we go. Now since this is comprised of 13 frames, you'll see that now it's much faster. Okay, so many people don't know they can change, they can easily change any widget by applying effects to it. And let's say I wanted to add a shadow effect to Ryu here. And let's, I'll use black and increase the blur. So now you see, let's hide the colorize, and the one below it, and now you see it has a shadow. So this is as easy as adding effects, and you can achieve quite a lot. If you take a look at my videos here on this channel, you'll see that I built a lot of watch faces using just the vector draw function and the image effects. You can actually build a whole watch face using these image effects, and they're not destructible. I mean, if you had an effect like this, and you realize you don't need that effect, you can easily go in there and just delete it. So this is like Photoshop, where you can add a layer effects, non-destructible layer effects. They're not affecting your original image, but they can drastically help you change your watch face. Like this, we can change the brightness, or we can, for example, create something crazy like apply a mirror effect and mirror the left quadrant to the right, and then press play. And you see that right now Facemaker has mirrored the left quadrant onto the right quadrant and created something weird. But well, it's something weird. It worked for other widgets, just not for this one, okay? And you have several effects you can change, so you can change the channels and all that, and they're not destructible, so keep this in mind. These were image effects, and although they're here located next to the properties tab, many people don't know they can use them. Oh, and by the way, let's duplicate this image here, and let's show them both, okay? So you'll notice that we have an effect, and I'm going to remove the effect on this one. So let's say you wanted to copy these effects from this one, this colorize effect, onto this one. This is very easy. All you have to do is go into the effects and select this field here and select fit, copy from, and there we go. Now you didn't have to add it and then tweak it with the same value. All you had to do was select the copy from function here, and Facemaker copies all effects from the origin widget onto the target widget, okay? So keep that in mind. You can also, besides applying them, you can also copy from other widgets. Now let's say here you added another effect here besides, or let's remove the colorize, and let's add a shadow. So shadow, and by the way, you can easily search for the filter you want by writing here, okay? So keep that in mind. Another tip, and we added a shadow effect, and now let's increase the radius, and there we go. Now you can increase the strength and make it more preeminent, just like that. And now let's say you wanted to copy it onto this one. So you can, of course, use the copy from, but let's say you only wanted the last one that was applied here. So all you have to do is select last shadow. So the first option here on the filters list will be the last one you applied to other widgets. And there we go. Applied with the same settings you had on this one, okay? So this is another tip that might be useful for you. Now let's proceed and let's load some image here on the, let's delete this one, or rather let's delete the background. And okay, no, I needed that background, oh hell, okay, no problem. Let's add a background image here, and let's say, let's copy this one here, this canvas, this military canvas here. So I am going to add another image widget above it. So it's here. If we zoom in, you'll be able to see it better. It is here, and now we can simply, resize it or do whatever with it and place it. And let's say you wanted to sample a part of your background image. And this is applicable to all images that are below the image that we're using right now, okay? So let's say you want to copy this area from the widgets that are below it. So all you have to do is come in here and select copy from background, and Facemaker sample everything that is below that widget, this widget here, and copy that sampled image onto its source. So let's say that now you want to sample this part here. So copy from background, and there we go. We made a copy of everything that's beneath and copy it onto this widget. And now I would like to show you a more complex case. So let's load this watch face here. Okay, so we have this watch face here, and let's say you wanted to sample everything on the background. So you notice that we could have a dozen images here, okay? So wherever we put it, Facemaker would sample everything that's below and copy it onto the current image widget. So if we move this, you see that we copied everything that was above. And what is this useful for? Well, there is a technique that allows you to add a, let's say you wanted to add an animation of an incoming message. And you would put it here on the widget and, you know, add it here, container, and select the messages data type. And then you could, for example, have an image tab. And here on the background, I would add frame by frame an animation of an envelope moving. So let's say a message has arrived, and so an envelope appears and shows you have one new message. And let's say, let me try and find one such animation. So message animation GIF. So images, well, new message animation GIF. And there we go, we have a great animation here. So now I'm going to show you another tip and trick. So if you on this image here, you can simply copy image right there, and now go into the Facemaker, select this frame by frame, and click the image preview and press Ctrl V. Now you'll see that nothing happens. That's because Ctrl C and Ctrl V only works with static images. So if you had an image here and press Ctrl V, now we have the last frame of that animation. So this won't do. I guess we'll have to you know, save image as and save it on the downloads folder and save. And now let's delete this one. And here on the frame by frame, I am going to upload this image we just downloaded. So go into the downloads and load that message notification. And there we go. We have that message notification. But if you press preview, you'll see that the animation works, but we have all that purple all around. So we need to remove that. Let's go into the effects and select a color to alpha effects. And now let's sample that color. There we go. And increase the threshold. If we press play now, we only have the animation itself, which is great. So we removed all that purple that was around. So now let's apply this effect, and next we'll crop the content. So make the image as small as possible. And now we can resize it, let's say 80. Or maybe slightly bigger, so 100. Okay, so now we have this animation that will always be playing. So if we press preview, there we go. It's always playing. But we don't want that. We want it to play only when we have a new message. So how do we do that? Well, remember we had a messages container here. So now I'm going to put it below all the other widgets. Okay, so everything is above it. So all information, the time, the date, and everything else is above. So here on the image widget, or rather the image set of the messages, we can load two images. One for no new images. So if I press generate, you'll see that the number one, no new messages, and number two, new messages, so unread messages. And we have this right now, okay? So what we need is to hide that frame by frame, that animation, when there are no new messages. So this image 2 of this image set, which is or rather the image 1, which is the no unread messages, should be an opaque image that will hide this animation. So how do we do that? Well, here I'm going to load an image like I did before. And on this image, I am going to make it the same size as this animation, exactly the same size, okay? So this is 50, or rather 100 by 75. So 100, let's unlock the aspect ratio and select 75 here. No, not 57, 75. And let's put it on the same spot as this animation. So 57, 104. 57, 104. And there we go. Now we have an empty image in exactly the same space and the same size as this animation. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sample everything that is behind. So here I press copy from background. And we now have an image that will represent everything that is below. And we can use it to hide this animation, but only when there aren't new messages. So how do we do that? Well, we use that copy-paste image functionality. So we come in here, and on this image widget, we press Ctrl+C, okay? And now let's go into the messages, and this is the no new messages, okay? No new messages frame, okay? So let's click it and press Ctrl+V. There we go. It's there, and all we need to do now is just, oh, by the way, we need to move the container first into here and lock it. And now we can unlock that messages widget and place it exactly in the same spot where the animation is. So 104, and I believe this is perfect. And you can easily see that. So if we lock it, you won't see any difference between the sampled image, or rather it needs some tweaking, I guess. So yeah, on the X. Okay, now it's perfect. And we have this, okay? But the problem is, while the first image is in fact hiding this animation, the second one has this image, this envelope image. So we need to hide it or delete its content. And we can do that with the netted image. Select the eraser tool and go and delete everything. Just like that, okay? So let's save. And now it's working great. So if we look at here, and we don't need this image anymore, we can delete it. So what happens is this frame by frame is always playing. So it's always doing, let me hide this one. It's always doing this. Okay, and we don't want that. So we wanted to do this only when there are new messages. And this is where this widget comes, or rather shows this animation below. So when there are no new messages, this image shows. So let me show you here. Okay, no new messages. When there are new messages, the image will change to this one, which is transparent, and it will show the animation below. So in reality, this animation is always playing. It's only hidden by this widget when there are no new messages. So you could easily achieve this and add all the hands moving above it, and this widget will hide it when it's not needed. okay? And by the way, you should play this animation. If you're doing something similar, you should play this animation only once. So, you know, disable this switch here, the loop switch, and press play, and it will only play once, okay? It will stay that way. So it's showing hiding because this widget I created that shows hides the animation is showing and hiding in a loop. So, but this will work on the watch, believe me. And this is another tip and trick for you. Okay. So let me see here. I think I covered almost. Yeah, I think I covered all the subjects I wanted. This video covered tips and tricks you can use on Facemaker. There are a lot more of tips I could give you, but these are the ones that are usually hidden and most people don't know about them. So I hope you liked this video, and as usual, I hope to see you on the next one. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to subscribe. It is a great help for this channel. Because YouTube is removing some functionalities to all those channels that have a small amount of views, and yeah, these are, I know these are somewhat boring videos because they're very technical, but they're very useful for all the Facemaker users. And if you're a Facemaker user, if you want to keep this channel alive, please remember to subscribe. Okay? Thank you very much again, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye!